What should I be looking for in a future person to date or marry? This is a great question. I don't think it's ever too early to be asking this question as you are in middle school and high school. And so I think Proverbs 31 gives a really good picture of this. It's describing the excellent wife that is more precious than jewels, and this can be translated to husbands as well. When you look, kind of starting in verse 11, with the excellent wife being described as someone that the heart of her husband trusts. And so, ladies, husbands, kind of vice versa here, this person needs to be someone you trust. That's what every counselor would tell you. The biggest key ingredient is for marriage and relationships is trust. And so you've got nothing if you can't trust somebody. And so this needs to be someone obviously who's faithful, who you can trust. They follow through with their word. They are honest, and so those are the kind of questions you need to be asking those around that person too, even whenever you're not around. Because let's be honest, especially when you're in middle school and high school, and you're in some kind of romantic relationship, you only get that person's best foot forward at school. Whenever you're around their friends and family, like it's best to ask those around them when nobody's watching, does this person follow through on the word? Are they trustworthy? Do they have a history of cheating? If they do, then they're going to cheat on you when you're married. Are they? Do they show a pattern of trust? Okay, so that's one. I would say too, kind of while I'm thinking about it, does this person point you to Jesus? Do they make following Jesus easy, or do they make it hard? Do you have to search hard for Jesus in this person? Right? Do they make you want to follow Jesus? Um, are they pointing you to Christ? And so anyone who's not is not someone, 2 Corinthians 6, that you want to be yoked with, as the picture goes. Someone who you don't want to be linked with, attached to. And so that's why it's also not right. Another question was asked in our Q&A panel. Is it wrong to date or marry a non-Christian? And biblically, I would say absolutely, because you have uh, hardly anything in common with this person. In the world's eyes, you might have a ton. You might be attracted to each other for so many reasons and commonalities, but ultimately you don't share Christ, and so light cannot marry darkness, and so you ultimately don't have Christ in common. The Bible says you should not marry, and so it would be, I would say, a sin to go against that. And so, does this person point you to Christ because they are a Christian and following hard after Him themselves? And 3 verses 13 through 16 describe this person who works really hard with their hands. They they plan really well, and so they're working. They have goals, and I think so. Another thing you need to be looking for, another trait characteristic, is this person hardworking? Do they have goals? As ladies, especially in your husband, future husband, this should be something that you really admire about them. Are they lazy? If they are they trying to turn from that? Are they hardworking? Do they have goals in life at all? So that would be another one. Um, to piggyback onto that, a couple other notes. One, don't settle. So I think it's good to have a biblical checklist. This is what I want in a future spouse, and I'm not going to settle for anything short of this list. Um, but then on the other side of the spectrum, you've got some ladies, especially, but guys can do this too. That have this high and lofty checklist that's way too long that nobody could ever attain. And so I think there needs to be a balance there. So like if your checklist includes stuff like must have all around great hygiene, must have the best sense of humor, must be the most attractive person I've ever seen, must love chick flicks, must also love taking long walks on the beach with me. Okay, well, your list is getting out of control and way too detailed. All right, stick to the basics without sacrificing and settling, but also don't make your list way too long and lofty that nobody could ever reach it, and you'll be single until you're 40, even though you've had really great guys or great girls on your available to you that you just passed over because they couldn't attain whatever list you had. So find balance and make sure you're seeking Jesus ultimately.